revolution. Bookmarklets on standby.
Log online, fan page loaded and ready.
Player stats, loaded. Health check, go.
Weapons check. Eyes check. Complete.
We have launched for the Informant podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Informant podcast. I'm Pistol Pete from Spockholm, and this evening I have with me Mig Chainsaw Chester, Jana Mig Death by Gucci, and Jennifer the Mafia Wars Loot Lady. How's everybody doing this evening?
Very good.
Good.
Very good. Well, we're having some struggles.
Uh-oh. We'll get it fixed. People are freaking. Jen's going to have a meltdown if you don't get it going.
It's funny because all over my fan page, people are like, "Is Spockholm down? Is Spockholm down?
Spockholm down."
Well, it's tough because, time zone differences, where Martin's one place, I'm another, and unfortunately this hit while they're all sleeping.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that Martin still has full control over as the owner of the concept of Spockholm.
Well, one time Ike told me that because my blog was down, and he said, "Well, don't worry, it will make people appreciate you more."
Yeah.
And so now it will be the same thing. When you guys come back, everyone will really appreciate you.
Well, I suppose unless they go out there and they find something else instead.
No,
that
there's
happens
nothing
too.
else.
Yeah, no kidding. Some of these a-holes can't even wait a few minutes.
I know. Get a grip.
They jump ship and go to the evil empire.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know. So
I know nothing other than Spock, personally.
yeah.
Who the
But
hell's Spock?
Live long and prosper.
Live
yeah,
long
he's
and
on
touch
Star
it?
Trek or something.
We've actually at Spockholm built up our public forum. We've got that out there now, to try to combat the fact that they were talking about throwing discussions out the window. Our goal is to kind of open it up to be just about all things Mafia Wars, not just Spocklets. Try to create some sections that would allow people to talk about, other parts of the game and stuff than just the Spocklet parts. But for us, mainly, it's supposed to be just a discussions area to talk about issues they're having with specific ones. And then a couple of Spocklets have gotten some minor updates, like, for example, the Getnator has actually gotten a feature in it now that does some permissions checking, which kind of caught me off guard. I had seen it in there just before all this crash, and I wasn't sure what it was yet, and of course they were sleeping, and Martin had made a comment about it, or Ike did on our discussions that I overlooked because I don't read. So if you open up the Getnator when we get things working again, there's two buttons at the top, one that says groups and the other one says wall, I think. And if it's in red, then that means the permissions are actually off, and you're not going to be able to publish to walls or get group info like in order for the Spocklet to work well with the feeds and the other. So it's kind of like a little check. So that'll be nice for some people that say, I've tried to use this and it doesn't work, and then at least we can rule out whether or not it's a permissions issue with not being able to see the feed posts or the publishing to groups or walls. So
Could permissions, an issue like that, be what's broken my Switch on Chrome?
it's possible, and that's one of the other things that we're, one of the other Spocklets that's been working in sort of a testing environment in the hopper is a thing called the Permissionator, which gives a listing of all the permissions that Facebook has potential to apply to a specific account and let you turn them on and off as you see fit. But we haven't released it yet because we want to make sure that we do a really good job of conveying what each of those are, as opposed to just dumping them right now. They're all just individual buttons and they don't really say a whole lot. I mean, you can kind of get the idea from some of them, but some of the other ones, it's like, well, what's that do? And if I turn that on, what's really going to happen? So we want to really put some more meat and potatoes into the directions and instructions on what those specifically do. So
What's going on with your cookie-anator?
I don't know.
Cookinator.
Cookinator.
Well, it was something in the hopper that we were testing out. And it's supposed to clear your cookies for you. It works really good. It gets rid of all the Mafia War cookies that are junk, as it's labeled. And then you just click one button and it gets rid of all the cookies.
It sounds like you know more about it than Pete.
Yeah.
Well, it was something Ike was working on, and I know there was a code to put in the toolbar. And I asked if it was live, and I never got an answer.
And I'm guessing that it probably
Maybe.
isn't.
Because it works really well.
Yeah.
So maybe that's still in the hopper.
I'd say it's still in the hopper.
Okay. I thought it was
crowded.
live, so I made the blog post
Yeah,
for it.
with
then
Mike
found
in there.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that was a spoiler. Hopefully I don't get in trouble.
Nah.
You're gonna get in trouble.
No, we're not.
It was
We're not
ultimate
Zanga.
Ultimate trouble would be Pete.
No, they're gonna throw you in the hopper.
He could have edited it.
We're not Zanga telling you that you can't talk about stuff. We want people to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's not public, you just won't see it yet.
And otherwise, he'll just edit you out.
Anyway, I don't have a lot. Like I said, we're just playing catch up now with the latest changes. So we'll get them squared away and back on track, and then we'll go from there.
The inventory group, Spocklet, was updated.
That's true, too. See, that's why Jen's around. She can catch everything that I can't keep up with.
I know, she's
Well,
like
it
your
was-
assistant.
Well, it
Does
was
she,
funny.
like,
I
work
couldn't.
at
She's
Doof
a
and Smurf?
Doofenshmirtz, yeah.
No, but I was looking forward to it because I wanted an easy way to check on how many consumables I had, because on the last show we talked about the utmost important thing to do is farm these consumables early, and I so over-farmed.
Oh, I
farm.
saw that.
Yeah, because I'm done. Like I'm just about done with Chicago. I have the ruby level of the last district left, and I have like 100 extra consumables.
Oh, my.
So
Yeah, you did over farm them.
well, I was like, well, what if I don't have my strategist bonus on? I better make more just in case. And then, so then when I saw my totals and that I had wasted all that energy, I was a little upset.
You got plenty of energy to burn, though.
Not really.
No,
No, I just have like 5,000, little over.
that's plenty.
Yeah, I have a lot of stamina, so I can level if I need to. Not serial level, but I can get close enough where some kind of bonus will help me
Mm-hmm.
as far as the amount of time I play. And then, of course, there's always energy refills, which
So
I
what's-
try to avoid.
What's up with your blog this week?
Well, we did get that secret district. They released it on Tuesday. And it's really disappointing because the past two secret districts, there was like one good job that had a really good energy or experience energy ratio. And the trend was to kind of get through it, get to that job, and spend all your energy on that job. But since we have the new Chicago districts, I think most people, they're not going to really be planning on just burning their energy for the sake of leveling. They want to complete the Chicago district. So the secret district is going to be more like a finish and forget about it. The ratios are not good. There's nothing over 2.0. And the loot that drops, there's one item that could be helpful, the Harbor Master, and it's a defensive henchman. And it has stats of defense stats of 102. But your fellow survivor, which is the defensive loot henchman as well, has stats of 100, so you can easily get those. So I wouldn't think that many people would waste their energy trying to farm, because the drop rate on these loot items are horrible. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of interest in this Traverse City until just completing it.
I just want to finish it.
I'm not even doing it. I'm going to wait till I finish Chicago, and then I'm going to go to it.
I thought there was a time limit on it.
There's 2 weeks, but I'm
Oh,
almost
okay.
done with Chicago, so a couple more days I should be done. But to me, I wasn't as excited of finishing that as I was Chicago, because I want that last achievement.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
I forget what they called it.
Oh,
Out
it's
with a bang
out
or
with a
something.
bang. Yeah.
Yeah, which some people are saying could be like Mafia Wars.
Oh, bite your tongue.
I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. Well, and they did that. They made that post, and we talked about it on the last show. Or it might have been the show before that, how, Mafia Wars in the house is what they called it. And they said they're working to improve the game, and they hear our feedback, blah, 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 and they're slowing down on things. And then this week was ridiculous. Because, we just had the 3 new districts of Chicago. Then they dumped this secret district on us. And they're going like balls out with this advertising Harold and Kumar movie. I think they're going to get a proceeds of the ticket sales.
They must be.
Because
Okay.
there's one of those stupid gifting events where one side wins and you have to accept gifts. And if you have a certain number of gifts from the winning side, you'll get the grand prize loot item, which is a waffle bot.
Awesome, huh?
Yeah, and I spent like too much of my own time researching this waffle bot, and it's in the movie.
God.
And it's supposed to be funny, but all the reviews said it wasn't. And one thing people are learning, the gifts that you send, that you have to get cupcakes or brownies. Now, the stats on those are below 85, the gifting threshold. So you can gift them to your Mafia. And a lot of people are doing that. You need 75 of each. So they're getting 75, collecting their cupcake and brownies, and then they're passing them on to their Mafia. But I think that might be a little risky because in the end, when they calculate like how many waffle bots you're going to get, I don't know if they do that through the inventory. Or is there something that tells them how many times you collected? Maybe Pete would know more about that than me.
I have no idea.
How many times you collected to get the waffle bots?
Yeah, like, there's that collect button on the homepage.
Yeah, it counts. You can maximum of 5 on each side.
Right.
So whichever one wins, you can potentially get 5 of the waffle bots.
Right, but are they using that information when they pass waffle bots, or do they use what's in your inventory?
No, they're going to use that.
How do you know?
Because that's what they did on the previous ones. Whatever you collected was what you got credit for. If you didn't collect them, you didn't get the extra items.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? It was like that fight battle thing between the woman and the guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you didn't get the 10 items on the one side, then you didn't get the 10 items.
Right.
You had to actually collect them.
Okay, so if they're in your inventory and you don't collect them, then it won't count.
That's the way it's been in the past.
Okay, so we can deduce from that even if you don't have the items in your inventory, but you collected, you should get the waffle bots.
Yeah, and the other thing to remember, too, is that the nice part about, when Getnator's running, is that they at least let you carry over from section to section. So let's say, because you can, I think you have to have, I don't even know how many items you have to collect.
15 of each on each side.
Okay, so once you get to the maximum of those turn into blue mystery bags. And if you've gotten the maximum of them, then, you can collect them all in one shot.
Right,
so,
you don't have to do individual.
Yeah, you don't have to go 15 and then collect, and then wait for the next 15 and collect. No, it'll keep track as it goes, which is nice because then that's the way that they have to be. Well, that's the way most of their events should be. Is it should keep tally of how many you've collected along the way, and when you go to collect, you're done. I wish those, some of those old gifting events were the same way.
And I like how, like with the other gifting events, like you had to save your gifts because you would need them again when the next phase opened up, when you could repeat it.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of a pain in the ass to save all those. And now you don't need to save them because you don't need them, and they're just mystery bags.
Right.
And speaking of mystery bags, we have gold mystery bags.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wonder why.
I know, that's what we're trying to figure. They didn't really nerf anything unless you count
Are there going to be silver ones too?
No silver.
Well, they added the new property and then took it away.
Yeah,
with that.
Maybe that's why. Because this Botanical Gardens, which has been out forever, like it's in the back code. Ike was able to access it before it was even released. It was supposed to be released when the cemetery was, but they came up with the cemetery probably because of Halloween. Mm-hmm. So then we're like, okay, it's going to be released next. And it was yesterday by the time you listen to this. And for 2 hours it was available. So a lot of people upgraded it. And then without warning, they just pulled it. But they did make a blog post at least to tell us why they pulled it. And they said they turned it on by mistake. And when it comes back in the first week of December, you'll still keep your credit for whatever you upgraded it to. Good. But the kicker of that whole post was like, they said, but don't worry, next week there's going to be another one. Like, how many of these frickin' properties do they need?
I don't know. That's overwhelming.
And this one's been in the system for so long. Could they please just get it done with?
I know, they should have just left it out, even if it was an accident. So what?
We were already annoyed, so it's...
Just let it go.
Yeah. So I don't know what that was all about. Maybe they felt bad that there was so much crap that they decided to give us a week off.
Oh, gosh. Whatever.
But now it's funny because some people still have it on their account, and it says they have 41 days to upgrade it, or 44 days.
And they can't make it go away from what I've read.
No, yeah. And I don't think they can make it work either, so it's just there.
Uh-huh. Hence the gold mystery bags.
So, yeah, that's probably why, because this all happened on the same day.
Mm-hmm. Unless there's something else that we just haven't figured out yet.
You never know with them. And Miss Gold Mystery Bags always say one day, if you read the homepage module. says they're only available for one day because they're that good, but they're usually around for 2 or 3 days. And if you plan it right, if you can collect 20 right now before midnight,